Welcome to my presentation on Act 4, Romeo and Juliet, important passages. The friar says, "Hold then, go home, be merry, give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night look thou lie alone, let not the nurse lie with thee in thy chamber." So the friar begins by giving a series of directions to Juliet, and we should notice that he continues to encourage her to deceive her parents. This is not the typical role of a man of God, a man of the church, but when we first met him, he was talking about something that we identified as situational ethics, that it is possible to do something bad and have a good result, or do something good and have a bad result. And here he continues to do something deceptive, hoping that um, it will work out for the greater good, which is to bring the two families together and to allow these two lovers to remain married. When he talks about Wednesday is tomorrow, as we progress in Act 4, the wedding date is going to change, and that's going to bring a complication to the friar's plan. And we should also notice that he says, "Let not the nurse lie with thee in thy chamber." What Juliet has to do, she has to do alone. And as a 13-year-old trying to navigate this alone for love, it is an extremely heroic thing that she is doing. "Take thou this vial, being then in bed, and this distilling liquor drink thou off, when presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humour, for no pulse shall keep their native progress, but surcease." So he begins to outline to her what's going to happen to her when she drinks the potion. She's going to have a cold feeling that runs through her body, and it's basically going to knock her out, stop all her bodily functions. How does he know that this is possible? Well, we have been set up from the very first time that we met him when he was in the garden and he was looking at the different herbs and talking about their medicinal qualities. Um, and it seems that he had been studying them for a long time and learned their different properties. So Shakespeare anticipates us wondering how he knows how to do this, and he set that up for us when we first met the friar. And we should think about, how an author constructs a plot and makes that plot believable. And this is one of those elements where we were already set up to believe this particular event. "No warmth, no breath shall testify thou liveth. The roses in thy lips and cheeks shall fade to wanny ashes. Thy eyes' windows fall, like death when he shuts up the day of life." I've identified several literary terms here, including personification. Death is personified with the pronoun he, and death is almost another character in this play. What's going to happen here is that Juliet is going to be in something like a very deep coma, which doctors are able to do today, but it's amazing that Shakespeare could imagine that 500 years ago. And to the lay person, for all intents and purposes, she will appear to be dead, but only for a limited time. "Each part deprived of supple government shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death, and in that borrowed likeness of shrunk death thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep." Okay, so the friar has less than 2 days to get a message to Romeo, who is about 30 miles away in Mantua, and then have Romeo come back to the tomb to claim his bride. So we're in a very time sensitive situation. Now when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, thou art dead. And the bridegroom here, of course, is Paris. Paris is going to come to claim his bride, but to Paris and everyone else, she will be dead. And you have to kind of think how cruel this moment will be for Paris and the parents to think that she has committed suicide rather than marry. Um, you can't imagine someone of the church putting people through that. Then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes uncovered on the bier, thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. This line is extremely important, manner of our country is, because if it wasn't the custom to put people in the vault unembalmed, this plan couldn't work. So Shakespeare has to throw that little phrase in there to let us know that it's a tradition to just put people on a bier and put them into the vault without actually embalming them. In the meantime, against thou shalt awake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua. So again, we have the importance of time here. They have a limited amount of time to bring this plan off. Romeo is going to get a letter from the friar, or that is what the friar is hoping. We'll find out that that doesn't quite work out. And this shall free thee from the present shame, if no constant toy, nor womanish fear abate thy valor in the acting it. And Juliet responds by saying, give me, oh tell me not of fear. She's courageous here. I love her. And so he's basically saying, if you don't act like a little girl, or oh, don't act like a weak woman and act like a man and be brave, this plan is going to work. And he's saying this to a 13-year-old. Okay? The friar says, hold, get you gone, be strong and prosperous in this resolve. I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua with my letters to thy lord. Juliet, love give me strength, and strength shall help afford. Farewell, dear father. So we end this speech with the friar saying he's going to send a messenger. That's going to become a plot complication in Act 5. He's going to send a messenger to give Romeo this news, and unfortunately, things do get a little confused. Okay, so this is all I'm going to do for this speech. I'm going to continue with the next important speech in my next presentation. Okay, thank you. Shout out to the subscribers. Students, use this information to help you complete your weekend homework. Bye.